Hello, Hivers. Welcome to Honeybee Stamping Hive, where creative buzz is always in the air. I am Tashana Lundy, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Florida, serving customers all over the United States. And today, we're going to be making a 3D project. I haven't done a 3D project in a long time. So we're going to be using the Marbled Elegance Specialty Designer Series paper. This is an online exclusive. We're also going to be using the brushed silver and gold foil specialty paper, also an online exclusive. And we're also going to be using the Be My Valentine stamp set, because we're going to be making a Valentine box. And we're also going to be using the what is this called, Hearts of Elegance dies. Okay, this is in a suite with this designer series paper, and there is a stamp set and other things that come in this set, this suite. But before we get started on our project, we're going to go over a little bit of buzzworthy business. We have our Hearts for You paper pumpkin kit that's going to make 9 cards. Real Red is the stamping spot. We have the Spring is in the Air dies add-on for $12. The item number is 166237. And there is a link in the description box below for you to sign up for the paper pumpkin. As always, you can go to my website at honeybeestampinhive.com to see all of the latest and greatest news that's going on with Stampin' Up, all of the sales and promotions. This is our December host code. This is the code I want you to use whenever you're placing an order with me. Unless your order is $150 or more, do not use this host code, because you're going to qualify for Stampin' Rewards, and Stampin' Rewards equals free product from Stampin' Up. And I don't want you to miss out on any of your freebies, okay? And that is all of our buzzworthy business. So let's get started, because we have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to give you some measurements, and you don't have to write them down. They're going to be on my blog at Honeybee Stampin' Hive. There will be a link in the description box to this exact blog post. So with all the measurements, because it's a lot. We're making a lidded box, and it's layered, so it's a stacked box. So we're gonna have some basic black cardstock here. So we have, this is considered our outside wrap. I've gone ahead and did a lot of things because it's a lot. This is 3 3/4 by 12 inches. I have scored it at 1 9/16, 4 7/16, 7 3/8, and 10 1/4. Okay. Then we have our base box. Our base box is 6 7/8 squared. So 6 7/8 by 6 7/8, scored at 2 inches on all sides. Okay, so that's that. Then we have 2 pieces for our inside upper boxes. These are 4 1/16 by 5 9/16. Yes, we're into the 16ths. So I've gone ahead and cut up one because we have 2 and you don't need to see me do it twice. So these are scored at 1 3/8 on all 4 sides, okay? Our last piece of cardstock is the lid. This is 5 by 5, scored at 1 inch on all sides, okay? So let's go ahead and get cutting these. Now for the lid, we are going to cut straight into the rectangle here, and then wedge into the square. And we're going to rotate it. We're not going to cut the same side. We're going to rotate it, do the same thing. Cut into the rectangle. We'll cut straight on the rectangle, cut into the square. Rotate it. And this is so that our lid won't be too bulky. Each side will have a flap, okay? And then you also want to go ahead and take off a little bit on all 4 corners here. On that same square that you wedged into. Just going to take, that's just going to ensure that the box closes up a little easier, okay? So that is the lid. Now for these 2 upper boxes, as you can see, I've gone ahead and done this one. We want to cut in on the side with the long rectangle. Don't cut the sides with the squares. You want to cut the sides with the rectangles. And we're just going to cut straight to the rectangle and wedge that square. And then we also want to cut it, okay? Straight on the rectangle side wedge into that square, cut it in half. Then we also want to go ahead and miter that edge right there, okay? We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so I went ahead and finished cutting those, and I've gone ahead and added some adhesive. This is tearing tape. Now, you do not have to use tearing tape. You can use any strong adhesive, because I'm also gonna be using liquid glue, and liquid glue is strong enough to hold this, but I like tearing tape combined with the liquid glue, okay? So you wanna go ahead and fold and burnish all of your score lines. You can do this step before or after you cut. I just forgot. So we'll have that, okay? And we'll come back to this in a moment. So now let's get our base box, and we're gonna cut, just pick any two sides, cut straight up on the middle, and wedge into the square, okay? Do we want to cut this? Yeah, we can cut this, not in half, but just a little bit. It just takes away some of the bulk. And we're going to do the same thing, wedging on those sides. This is just to help the boxes go together easier. Essentially, what you're doing is cutting away the score line from this side and leaving it on that side, okay? So the score line is on the left side of my scissor on this particular flap. What am I doing? Oh, I need to do this side. I'm like, there's something else needs to be done. Okay. Now on this one, where's my tearing tape? We're going to put tearing tape, if I can get my end here. We're going to put it on these two flaps here. This is the outside of the box, okay? And we're going to put it on this one down here. So just 3. Then we're going to flip it over. The one that has the one side, we're going to put it on the inside of those. Again, you can use whatever adhesive you want, okay? So this is the inside at the bottom. The outside at the bottom only has 1. The top on the outside has 2, okay? This is for our base box. And then we don't put any adhesive on this, okay? So let's go ahead and go over all of our designer series paper. So I have 6 pieces. 6 pieces of designer series paper at 3.5 and 2 5/8, okay? We have 1 at 3.5 by 1.5. We have, what is this? This is the 2 for the upper boxes. This is 2 5/8 by 1 1/4, and you need 2 of those. Then we have 2 at 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. These are optional. Then we have some layers for the lid. This is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then 2 3/4 by 3/4, and you need 4 of those. Then we also have, oh, that goes there. Then we also have, for the base box, for the front, we have a piece that is 2 5/8 by 1 3/4. Then we have, for underneath the upper boxes, you'll see how this is going to go together. You need 2 at 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And then we have 3 more pieces for the base box. These are optional, and they're 2 5/8 by 1 3/4, okay? So It's a lot of pieces. I know, again, all the measurements will be on my blog, okay? So let's go ahead and start decorating this box. So you want to get your outside wrap, and you want to put the larger of the two ends on the right side, what facing you. This is the outside of the wrap. This is the inside. You want the larger of the two. So when you score it at 10 1/4, that should be here. This is the 1 9/16. So this piece, we're going to be, where's the piece for the inside? Ooh, child. Is this the piece for the inside? The inside. Okay, so this is our 2 5/8 by 1 1/8. I don't know if I told you this, but that is that measurement for this one. Okay, and we're gonna just glue this on. And again, I'm working on the inside, starting with the back flap, which is the larger of the two end flaps. Then we have our 2 5/8 by 2 5/8 pieces. These are going to go right here. And here. Okay. Then we're going to, this back flap is going to get the 3 1/2 by 1 1/2 piece. Ooh, come down some. Just center it in there. Okay. Now we're going to flip this over. And the 2 5/8, the 2 5/8 by 3 1/2, we're going to put those panels on just like that. Okay. Remember, there's 6 of them, so this is 3 of them. We're putting on the outside here. And you can use any designer series paper, of course. Just remember, if it's directional, to cut it 3 1/2 inches tall. And if you want to layer, like I was going to layer some gold underneath the designer series paper, then I decided not to because it's so many pieces. I didn't want to have to cut all that, all those extra pieces to layer. Just if you want to layer, just drop your designer series paper down by 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch, whichever you want your layers to be. So we have that. Now one of the another one of these 2 1/2, not 3 1/2 by 2 5/8 is going to go here. So I want to, let's see, put the glue just on one edge on this one. We're going to layer that, trying to get the borders even. And then we're going to turn it over, and our final number 5, not the final one, but piece number 5 of this 3 1/2 by 2 5/8, we're going to put that right on the back of that first one. Line it up. Make sure everything is not showing in the front. Okay, so that is this wrap completed. So now let's do our boxes, okay? So we're going to take, this is our base box. We want to take the adhesive off the inside. So remember, we did 2 on the inside. We want to take the adhesive off of that first. This is going to be the back of the box. And we want the flaps to go on the outside. Okay, so that's the back. Then we're going to take the adhesive off these. We're going to tuck them in, and we're going to just line the edges up. Just like that. Okay. Then the front of the box, we're going to put a piece of designer series paper. And this pack of paper, most of the designs look very similar. I just want you to know this is a different piece. As you can see from the backs, this is a different piece. And that's what I'm going to decorate the inside boxes with. Is the this one has more of a pink on it. I think the pink is Flirty Flamingo. So that's going to be for the front of the box. And I did go ahead and cut 2 more pieces to put on the side of the box, but they're not, they're the more red one, or cherry cobbler. I think it's real red on this particular one, but I'm not sure. But we're going to put it on the sides here. Now this is, again, optional for the sides. You can leave it plain if you want, but I just wanted to decorate mine. And it would be easier to decorate it when it's flat. I'm doing it like this so you know where the front, where the back is. Now for the back, we're going to get that final 6th piece of that 2 5/8 by 3 1/2, and that one is also in the same pattern as on the front of the box. What we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue on the back, on the inside of the back, and we're going to take, which side do I want up? You're just going to set that in there. Center that into your box. Just like that. Again, this would all be easier to do when the paper is flat, but so you can understand where everything goes, I'm doing it when the box is put together. Again, this is the base box. Now let's move to our upper boxes. We want to take the tear and tape backing off of all the sides. Leave this one. Then we're just going to put the box together. So you want to bring the flaps up. Just line them up. Try to get it as even and square as possible. I see some of my adhesive is going over, so I'm just going to roll it with my finger. Come on. There we go. Now this is going to be the back of this box, okay? That's the back. So we want to put our designer series paper on the front. This is the one that is different. So it's the one that has more of the pink in it. We're going to put that on the front of our box. Just like that. And for this box, we're going to put a square on the side. This is the 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And we're just going to decorate it just like that. Again, this is not absolutely necessary. Okay. And we'll do the same thing for this box. Okay. So now that I have these 2 boxes put together, we put the designer series paper on the right hand side. If the back is facing you, I put the designer series paper on the right hand side of this box. That means we want it on the left hand side of this one with the back facing you. Okay. So get our little 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 square. And we're going to put that right here. Okay, so now we have the lid. So our lid, we're going to take our 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 and put that right in the middle. And I guess I should have put my tear and tape on. But again, it's easier to put the designer series paper on when it's flat. Then we're just going to do our 4 sides. Okay, so I started to go ahead and put the tearing tape on. So you don't have to put as much as I'm doing, but this is a box and it's going to be things inside of it, and you want to make sure that it's sturdy. Well, this is the lid, but you still want your lid sturdy as well. So we're going to just take off the tearing tape on all the tabs. If your tearing tape goes over, just fold it over on itself. Make sure you line those corners up square. Okay, so now we have all of the pieces put together. Now let's add them to our wrap. So let's get the wrap out again and again. Remember, this side is the back. I like to work upside down, so I'm going to flip it upside down, and we're going to start with our upper boxes. So the one that has the designer series paper on the right hand side is going to go on the right hand side. Okay, I probably should have did a third one because this one is going to be showing as well, but that's okay. These are optional. I might add one. And as you can see, I had tearing tape on the back, but I'm also adding liquid glue. The tearing tape gives me that strong hold. The liquid glue gives me the wiggle room, and we're going to line this up right at the top of our wrap here, in between these two score lines, okay? Just press firmly and try not to wiggle it too much because you want it to stay at the top. And I know it's hard to see with the black, but we're going to do the same thing. Oh, I did the wrong one. Ooh, this one goes over here. Oh, goodness gracious. One with the right goes on the left. Goodness. See, because of that liquid glue, I had room, that time to remove it. Yeah, I should have did 3 of the squares. Okay. So now those boxes are in. For this one with the back flap over here, we want to go ahead and adhere it to the back flap. So I'm putting some liquid glue. And I should have put a piece of tearing tape on that, but it's okay. We're just going to let that get adhered to there. Flip this back around, and we're going to get our base box. Take this tearing tape off of here. This is just an extra measure to make sure this box holds very well to the back. You don't need it all over, but we're going to also put it on this designer series paper. And we're going to place this right in the middle, all the way at the, even with the bottom of the cardstock, okay? Make sure it's on the inside of those score lines, because you want your flap to close. All right, so now we have that, and look at that. This is our box. It's going to close like this. Okay. Now, we want to make sure this is dry. I have some Ferrero Rocher candies. We're going to put 4 at the bottom in the base box. We're going to put 2 in each of the upper boxes. And if you would like, you can add a gift card right here in the middle. That's what I did. I made 12 of these for my husband, for his co-workers, for his employees. So we're going to push that down, close this up, get our lid, and add it just like that. Okay, so now it's time to decorate. I'm moving my paper all around. So I have a heart here that I die cut with some basic white from the Hearts of Elegance dies, and we're going to stamp Happy Valentine's Day in real red. We're going to stamp that right in the middle. And then from that same stamp set, we have this trio of hearts we're going to put on. Just like this. Ooh. Okay. And I did this ahead of time, just in case I messed up, and I did. I tried to line that back up, but it got a little doubled, so let me use the one I did from before. Then I have a piece of the brushed gold foil paper, and this is 1 inch by 3 1/4, and then I just put banners on the end. We're going to layer that together. I also have some of the, what is this called? Gold twisted thread. We're going to put, and I've tied, I cut three pieces that were about 4 inches long, tied it in a knot, then I just unraveled it, okay? Let me get a piece of tearing tape. We're going to secure this right into the middle of our banner here. A little banner piece. Okay. Get some dimensionals to put on our heart. Do we want dimensionals on the heart? Yes, dimensionals on the heart. Now, I usually would put the dimensionals on the back of here, but because I have this knot, I want to put the dimensionals on the back to pop that heart up off of that knot. We'll probably put some more on the back of the heart as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the backings. We're going to put this heart right in the middle, like that. And it's a box, so we can use all the dimensionals we want, right? So we want to I probably should have doubled these, huh? I think I will, because we have a layer of dimensionals. We need to make sure this even. So we need 2 more to layer on the ones that are just on the hearts by themselves. Okay. Now, I have where are my gold sequence hearts? My Adhesive-Backed heart sequence. This also comes in that suite with the Marbled Elegance Designer Series paper. And I think I'm going to put little bitty hearts right in the middle. Oop, come back here. Right on the ones that's in the middle. Just like that. Okay. And now we have one more piece that we need to add on. We are going to get our box back. This is the front. Where's my tearing tape? We're going to put a little piece of tearing tape. This is not necessary, but I'm just doing it because. Now, once I get everything tied together, this will look a little better. So I have, I don't know, probably 18, 20 inches of this, the gold open weave ribbon trim, open weave trim. And we're just going to lay our box or sit our box on top of this. And it's curling one way, so I want to kind of turn it. Get it even. I know you can't really see the front of the box, but I'm going to try to get this even. Then we're going to push this into that tearing tape that I put on the front of the box there. And we're going to adhere our heart to the front of that. I'm going to put that right there. So you want to make sure your dimensionals don't go over this front flap, okay? And then we're going to take this, pull it tight, make sure your box is closed well. And we're going to tie this in a bow. This trim is so good at tying. Look at that. Beautiful. And you want to leave the tails long. And there's our box. Isn't that cute? Super cute. Okay. I'm going to insert the ones I made for my husband now. Okay, you guys, that's it. That's all. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I would like to thank you for buzzing by the Hive today. Until next time, buzz you later. Bye.